Rarely do you get something worth owning for free in GTA Online, but there are exceptions to this rule, and fortunately for us, the Acid Lab is one of those exceptions. This is an S-tier business that you can own within your first day of playing the game, and as an added bonus, making money with the Acid Lab is one of the most chill experiences you can have as a solo player. So in this guide, I'll show you exactly how to get the Acid Lab for free and how to make millions of dollars with it. Okay, so our journey to being the kingpin of an LSD-fueled drug empire begins with a simple phone call from Trevor's friend Ron, who asked you to visit the Ace Liquor Shop in Sandy Shores. You'll see a big R icon on your minimap. Just visit the place and you'll start the Los Santos Drug Wars questline. There are two parts to this. First dose, which has 6 missions, and last dose, which has 5 missions. There is a reward that you unlock at the end of each part, and for part 1, it's the Acid Lab version of the Brigade 6x6, which is different from the regular Brigade that you can buy on Warstock Cash and Carry. Not only is the Acid Lab Brigade much tankier and capable of surviving over 45 RPGs to the face, but it can also accommodate a mobile drug lab in the back, which is what we're going to be using here to make money once this series of missions is over. After you finish the second part of the Drug Wars storyline, Last Dose, you'll unlock your other reward, which is the Ocelot Virtue. That's a $3 million electric hypercar with one of the most insane acceleration rates of any vehicle in the game, and it can fit in Monty Tech, which makes it very survivable against oppressor griefers. Completing all 6 First Dose missions shouldn't really take you more than an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and it will pay you over $600,000 when you factor in all of the first time completion bonuses. Then, right after that, do the 5 Last Dose missions for another $300,000, and you'll have more than enough money to install the $750,000 worth of Acid Lab equipment. If you don't see the install equipment option inside the Freak Shop, don't worry. You probably haven't visited one of the 3 warehouses around the map that contain the actual Acid Lab equipment. These warehouse icons show up on the map right after you finish First Dose mission number 6, Off the Rails, which is the one where you steal a Humane Labs Brigade from a train. Once you visit any of these 3 warehouses, you'll be asked to load the equipment onto a flatbed truck using a forklift, then simply drive back to the Freak Shop and you're good to go. If you have no interest in the second half of the story missions and just want to start making money ASAP, you can start running your Acid Lab right after you finish First Dose, but I would recommend waiting until you've done 10 Fooligan jobs for Dax. These missions are really easy and you get $50,000 for about 7 to 10 minutes of gameplay. There's a 48-minute cooldown between each Fooligan job, and that is a bummer, but if you start early, you can easily get all 10 done within a couple days. Trust me, it is worth it because as a beginner, there is no better business to own than the Acid Lab, and combined with the Cluck and Bell farm raid, you can become a multimillionaire in no time with literally zero monetary investment from your end. By the way, you don't even have to visit the Freak Shop to start these Fooligan contact missions. Just call up Dax on your phone while you're in the free roam, ask for work, and he'll give you a job right then and there. As a side note, if you want to skip the story part altogether, you can actually buy the Acid Lab business straight from Warstock by spending $1.4 million. Mutt is still going to call you up and explain how the business works, but you won't have the equipment upgrade and you won't be able to customize your Brigade 6x6 until you unlock the Freak Shop by meeting with Dax. So just do the story missions once. They're really fun and don't take much time. Now let's talk about the stuff you guys are here for. Money making with the Acid Lab. How much profit can you make per hour? How do resupplies work? Does this business get rated? I'm going to be answering all of these questions, starting with profitability first. And I'll be breaking this down into 2 sections, one without equipment upgrades and one with equipment upgrades, to demonstrate just how massive of a difference the simple $250,000 upgrade can make. The section of this video involves some number crunching, but if you just want to see the results, you can feel free to skip ahead to this timestamp. Without the equipment upgrade, your Acid Lab will require 3.2 resupplies, each costing $60,000, so you'll spend $192,000 on supplies alone, and you'll make $237,600 in return with a full batch of product. Mind you, this is going to take 6 hours since you don't have the upgraded equipment, which is an eternity, and it means you can spend a couple days filling up your Acid Lab. There is a way to speed up your production, and it's through a feature called Production Boost. If you step back into the back of your Acid Lab where Mutt is working, you'll see this little table here with some weird looking chemical bottles, and when you interact with it, you'll be able to speed up your production significantly. It can only be used once per day, so 24 real life hours, but it will bring down the time required to produce a full batch of product from 6 hours to 4 hours and 30 minutes. Let's run the numbers real quick. 237,000 minus the 192,000 you spent on resupplies means we're making a profit of $45,600 over 6 hours. That's just $7,600 per hour, which is pretty pathetic. Even with the production boost, you're making only $10,000 per hour, and I think you can make more by doing taxi work. And yeah, you could steal resupplies, but you'll need to do multiple resupply missions to fill up a single bar of supplies, and that'll take even more of your time. Hours that you could be spending on more profitable ventures like playing the Cluck and Bell farm raid, Cayo Perico, or even watching paint dry. Basically, what I'm saying here is do not run the Acid Lab without equipment upgrades. It's not worth it. But now let's see how we fare once we spend the $250K on equipment upgrades. Production time goes down to just 4 hours unassisted and 3 hours with the production boost enabled. Product value goes up from $237,600 to a whopping $335,200. That's a 41% increase in sale value. But wait, there's more, because now we only need 1.6 resupplies rather than 3.2, a 50% reduction in our supply costs. And here's a little secret for you. If you open up your interaction menu, go to service vehicles, select Asset Lab, and scroll down a bit, you'll see another option titled product name. If you name your product, doesn't matter which one you choose, as long as it's not default, you will get a 5% increase to every sale value. That brings our full stock up from $335,200 to $351,960. Running that math once again, we're now making $255,960 in net profit every 4 hours, which comes out to $64,000 per hour. Not bad, right? And with the production speed boost activated, our profit rate goes up even further to $85,000 per hour. For all you guys who skipped ahead for the results, here you go. With an upgraded Asset Lab, you can make up to $85,000 per hour with production boost activated and $64,000 without the boost. I already mentioned why stealing supplies is a waste of time, so let's talk about buying, how and where to buy. Unlike your MC businesses or bunker, the Asset Lab doesn't actually require you to be inside of the business to purchase resupplies, nor do you need a master control terminal. Instead, this is what you do. Open up your phone, scroll down to where it says Mutt in your contacts, call him, and select buy supplies. If it's a full resupply, it'll cost you $60,000. And again, you only need 1.6 of these to fill up your entire storage with product. So 2 calls over 3 hours and you're good to go. Pretty easy, right? You can also summon the Asset Lab to your location and manually walk up to Mutt and select buy supplies if you want, but it's unnecessary unless you're trying to activate the production boost, for which you will need to be inside of the vehicle for it. You can't activate production boost over the phone. And here's a handy little spreadsheet summarizing all the Asset Lab profitability details on the GTA Online subreddit from a user called They Call Me Sim, so feel free to pause and take a look. With profitability and resupplying handled, let's talk about selling now. How do you sell your Asset Lab product? Can the business be rated like MC and CEO businesses? Thankfully, no. The Asset Lab cannot be rated. It's 100% raid proof, and in order to sell your product, all you have to do is summon your Brigade from the service vehicle menu, then walk inside and you'll see this stash of jars on the right hand side. Walk up to it and you'll be able to start a sell mission. The coolest thing about the Asset Lab, other than its completely hands-free management, is the fact that you only get one sale vehicle every single time, a Manches Scout C, which is an off-roading beast, so you'll have no trouble jumping across roads or riding over rocky hills as you race across the map to make your acid deliveries. There are 3 types of sell missions: Paperboy, Stash, and Police Sting. In Paperboy, you have to make 10 drop-offs by throwing newspaper packages filled with LSD into tiny collection baskets. In Stash, you get 5 drop-offs and you'll have to dismount your bike and select one of 3 possible stash points to hide your product in while trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. And finally, there's the best kind of sell mission you can get, which is Police Sting. You'll know that you've got Police Sting when you see a single drop point on the map, and the game will always ask you to drive up onto the roof level of a multi-story parking garage. Here, there are a bunch of cops waiting for you behind cover, and there's going to be one observer just standing outside, pretending to be busy on his phone. If you dismount your bike and try to stash the acid, you'll be surrounded immediately and shot from all sides. Instead, what you can do when you get the Police Sting mission is just get to the parking garage, shoot any number of the police vehicles, you'll get your wanted level instantly, drive away from the building, lose the cops, and that should be extremely easy since you're driving a very agile off-road bike. Then Mutt's going to give you a backup location, and all you have to do is drive into the back of a van and walk away to complete the delivery. Just one drop off, and this mission can mostly be done in under 4 minutes. In fact, most Asset Lab sales rarely take more than 10 to 12 minutes anyway, even on those longer variants. And if you're feeling adventurous, you're always going to have that 50% potential high demand bonus if you sell in a packed public lobby. If you get the Police Sting mission, you can easily activate Ghost Org and protect yourself throughout most of the mission. If you get Paperboy, things become a little bit trickier as you still need to make 10 separate drop-offs, but still with a single sale vehicle, it's more than feasible. And that's honestly it for the business side of the Asset Lab. There isn't really much else to cover. However, the Brigade 6x6 is also something you want to take into consideration while grinding this business. If you didn't already know, it's the second tankiest vehicle in the entire game in terms of explosive resistance, just behind the MOC. You can upgrade it with heavy armor in the Freak Shop, and you can also install a heavy ram in the front if you want to drive around Phantom Wedge style, flipping vehicles all over the place. The Brigade is also an easy way to get rid of cops, as you can just step into the back and step out to completely reset your wanted level, same as any other service vehicle, and it can also equip all kinds of proximity mines, from EMP mines to sticky mines, which makes it a pain to chase down for griefers and cars pursuing you. Overall, I'd say the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC is one of the finest that Rockstar has ever added to GTA Online. Not only are you getting an amazing business that can be managed remotely and makes excellent money, but you're also getting an amazing vehicle, or rather 2 amazing vehicles, because once you finish Lastos, remember, you've got Dr. Isaiah Friedlander's Ocelot Virtue waiting for you. And all all of this is free as long as you put in the time to complete a few story missions. So get out there, do the drug wars missions, unlock your free overpowered business, and make loads of cash. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Drop a like if you guys found this video informative, and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and you want to see more GTA Online content like this. Feel free to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv. And I will see you guys in the next GTA 5 online video. Adios, amigos.